video in our series, Psychics, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and I want to use this time to talk to you about when is a good time to get a reading, when's a bad time, when you should avoid it, and what psychics are not for. So the first thing to know about when you want to schedule a reading is, again, we talked about this a little bit in the last video, really knowing what you want out of a reading. If you're looking to get more guidance in life, more support, really wanting to know what your soul is trying to tell you, you feel like there's more going on kind of than what you're seeing, that can be a great time to get a reading, to really have somebody support you and help you tune in with your intuition more. If you're in a space where you're really desperate or you really want someone to fix your life, like I just want somebody to tell me where I should be working, what I should be doing for a living, you know, if you're looking for those very specific things, then not a great time to get a reading. That's not what readings are for. Readings are to empower you how to create your life and to take the control of your life and to get more aware of your inner workings. How are you getting in your own way? What's getting in your way? What you need to kind of heal. And so it's very disempowering if somebody were to say, oh, here's the address of the place you need to apply. You need to talk to Joe. Here you go. And that doesn't mean psychics won't get specific information. Hey, you're supposed to be, car sales, being a car salesman isn't for you. You should really go back to school. I see you go back to school. I see you getting a degree for nursing or something like that. That's great. But if that is what your soul wants you to know. But if you're looking for that guidance, great. If you're looking for a magic pill of someone that is going to fix your life for you, not a great plan. Then it's time to go for more, maybe a life coach or counseling, therapy, that kind of thing can be really great. And if you're going to multiple psychics because you're not hearing what it is that you want, not a great time to get a reading. If you're looking for very specific, I want a psychic to tell me that that I'm getting back together with my ex, and you're just looking for that validation, not great. If you're looking for information like, hey, broke up with my ex, really want to find out if that's the right person for me, if I should move on, what needs to be healed around that, why I can't get them out of my head, that is a much better space to be able to get a reading from. But most psychics, if they hear that somebody is going to they're just going to a ton of psychics, that usually isn't that they're in a great space to receive a reading. So a lot of people will actually cancel your session if they find out that you're doing that. And that doesn't mean don't be honest about that, because you don't want to be putting them in a situation that that doesn't feel good for them either. So if you have been going to a lot of psychics, let them know. Some psychics will prefer not to work with you. So are you in a space to receive? So another reason to get kind of out of that desperate phase, you never want to be in a space of desperation when getting a reading. So a lot of psychics will do emergency readings, and that's more of, hey, I want to get in as soon as possible, not, oh my gosh, my life is just on fire right now, I just need someone to fix it, like, that's not great energy for us. We don't want to be working with that super anxious, revved up, like over the top energy. That's a lot. And we want people to be in more of a space that is, more open. If you're in one of those spaces, like for emergency appointments where you're like, I need this now, versus I just want to get in sooner, then you're not going to be able to really hear the messages. And so are you in a space to really receive the information? Because a psychic can give you the best information in the world, and if you're not in a space to receive them, so either you're not able to be vulnerable in that space, so vulnerability doesn't mean being taken advantage of, it means being open. Are you willing to hear things that might be hard to hear? Things maybe they're not going to tell you what you want to hear, that you're going to get back together with your ex, maybe that wasn't the right person for you. Are you able to hear those messages, or are you just kind of blank them out? So are you in a space to really receive a reading? Are you going to be really not just listening, but really hearing the information? And if not a good time to get a reading. It's going to be a waste of your time and your money. So getting out of spaces of desperation, getting out of spaces of being like in really low lows, because again, you're not going to be in as much of a receptive space to be able to hear the information. If you're super skeptical, then you need to research what goes into psychic readings, research the best people, and get into a space of being more vulnerable. Again, doesn't mean being taken advantage of. You want to have healthy boundaries, but allowing yourself to be open and seen, because otherwise, you know, it won't matter. And so, not using, another thing to avoid, that we really don't like, don't come to us to stalk people. So, hey, I want to find out what my ex is doing. Was he cheating on me? Is he seeing somebody else? He or she, you know, how can I get ahead of my coworker? What are they doing after hours? What are they, you know, are they working on this project? What are they thinking about this project? If it's in your highest good, we're happy to provide some of that information. However, if it's just about stalking somebody else, or if you're coming with messages just about somebody else versus, hey, again, you know, a lot of people do love readings, so I'll give love examples. What do I need to know about the situation with my relationship versus, you know, tell me all about my significant other, tell me all about my spouse. Those are, if you can't ask those questions to them, then you probably shouldn't be going to a psychic. You should be going to like a marriage counselor, that kind of thing. And that doesn't mean, again, we won't get information, but most psychics work for the information in your highest good. And so we don't want to stalk people. It feels gross. It goes against boundaries. It goes against ethics. So if you're looking for us just to give you information about somebody else, don't make that appointment. It's a waste of your time and energy and money, and it's just not ethical. So again, and sometimes people even do this with their kids. So, you know, I just want to make sure my kid's okay. What are they doing? What's going on in the relationship? And, you know, it's okay to ask, hey, you know, is there anything I can do to support my child? What do I need to know about this, if anything? But if your entire, you know, half hour session, whatever you're working with somebody with, whatever amount of time, is asking about other people, not a great way to get a reading. Like, that's something best avoided. Have conversations, reach out, do other things that aren't about trying to find out information behind the scenes. If it feels wrong, it probably is. So don't do it, and don't try to make psychics do it for you. So those are some good ways to kind of know if you're in the right space to see a psychic or a medium, and if you're not. So again, anytime you're just feeling really desperate, or you're really looking for somebody to give you a specific answer or fix your problems, not a great time. Wait till you're in a better headspace mentally and emotionally to be able to really receive a reading to get the best for your time and your money. Don't use it to stalk people. We're not here to fix people's problems. We're not here to stalk people. We're here to guide and support people in their journeys and connect them to their own intuition and empower them. So really being clear about what it is that you actually authentically want and truthfully want. And if you're answering those questions like, yeah, I just want someone to kind of tell me what to do in my life or make decisions for me, then pull back from scheduling a reading with somebody. But if you're really looking for more information, I really want to find what's going on. Why do all my relationships end like this? There must be something that goes on. How come I have all these money problems? Hey, what's going on here? You know, how can I make my life better? What do I need to do to improve my life? What can I do to be a creative force in my life and really start thriving instead of surviving my life? Those are great times to get readings. Or if you want to connect with deceased loved ones, again, great time to do a reading. If you're doing it because you want to heal and you want to connect and validate that your loved one's okay, that's a great time to do a mediumship reading. Again, if you're looking to get information on somebody else from a dead person, like, oh, ask my grandpa what my grandma's up to because we feel like she's doing this, that, or the other, like, not great. So, you know, if it's about you and your healing and just connecting, and it's coming from a space of love with connecting to a deceased person, then great. So I hope that answered some questions and gave you a little bit more clarity about when is the right time and what kind of things to avoid with readings.